Well, coming out of that interview, let's now cross over live to Lutuli House on the briefing of the Alliance Political Council.
In this context, the meeting reconfirmed the need to strengthen BRICS community of nations. And the Political Council raised concerns about the socio-economic challenges, as you know, confronting our country, which include job losses, and the rise in the cost of living. And in this context, the meeting resolved to do everything to cushion ordinary people against the impact of the deepening economic crisis. Part of this will include a need to work with the economic cluster on finding ways to introduce relief measures against the VAT and fuel prices increases. And part of this work will be integrated into the preparations towards the job and financial sector summits. You have noted what the President has said in terms of making some announcement in some few months, for a few weeks to come. And the Council also took place during an important historic year, the year marking the centenary anniversary, celebrations of two of our most outstanding revolutionary icon figures, Comrade Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, as well as Mama Albertina Sisulu. And through their exemplary life, we have learned the importance of unity of purpose and unity of action. And discussions were characterized, as I said, by a commitment from all components of the alliance to strategically map out a program towards the effective functioning of the alliance and therefore consolidating the strategic objectives of our revolution. And the meeting appreciated the growing confidence and the mood of the vast majority of the people of South Africa towards the ANC and progressive movement in general. And in this regard, the meeting focused more on the centrality and the importance of the unity and cohesion of our movement, the alliance partners, and our people. Therefore, the meeting resolved that moving forward, the priority should be the mobilization of the motive forces of our revolution and taking the importance of the contribution of the people of our country towards the building of a democratic, non-racial, non-sexist, and prosperous society. And in this context, the following political issues constituted the agenda of our meeting: the reconfiguration of our alliance, and the meeting received a presentation from the party on the proposals regarding the reconfiguration of the alliance. And we all agree that an alliance secretariat-led task team be established to work on modalities and seek to modernize the practical working mechanisms in the alliance. And the leadership is here to talk more about this question. A discussion document will be developed, which will be made available to all structures across the spectrum of our revolutionary alliance formations. This will be part of the broader work which will culminate into an alliance summit to be convened by the end of October this year. And towards the Alliance Economic Summit, subsequent to our agreement to hold the Alliance Economic Summit, the meeting agreed to prepare towards the convening of an Alliance Economic Summit, and the summit will focus, amongst others, will focus on proposals regarding the economic and labor market sections of the NDP, statecraft planning, coordination, and government, as well as size of government, preparing towards the jobs and financial sector summit, public transport, in particular the passenger rail trail, the issue of taxation, focusing mainly on VAT, zero-rated goods and fuel, energy security, the energy mix, our health system in terms of our implementation of the NHI, the fuel price increases, and the general rise in the cost of living, the mining charter and the mine safety matters, the issue of the land distribution, the fourth revolution, and its impact on the future of work, fourth industrial revolution. And we agreed that the 2019 election campaign, the Alliance agreed all of us must now be on the ground, work together to ensure massive victory of the ANC in the coming 2019 general election. And in this regard, all alliance formations shall, without fail, participate in the national, provincial list committees and also take into account matters that will arise from the Alliance Summit. We have committed ourselves to making sure that we don't disappoint our people, South Africans, our structures, and therefore will consolidate unity. The meeting also appreciated the report regarding the Thuma Mina campaign and agreed that this campaign is to include getting government to act decisively on matters raised by communities, and a clear message to be communicated to our people that even if they have the right to raise their concerns about the challenges of service delivery and any other issue, they must at all times not abuse their right of peaceful protest as an instrument to destroy property and therefore undermine the security of our people. And we have also agreed, you remember COSATU, on May Day they marched and they demanded that May Day, Freedom Day and Election Day should be a non-trading holiday. We have noted that South Africa has 13 public holidays and that only May Day, Freedom Day and Election Day should be non-trading holidays. And on the health sector, health system, we appreciate it and we welcome the implementation of the National Health Insurance. And the meeting received a presentation on the national bill, and all in the meeting expressed broad support, and we embraced the National Health Insurance bill. And it was agreed that there will be an alliance campaign to popularize the benefits of the National Health Insurance, because it is going to benefit in the main the poor and the working class, and generally the South African society. The Alliance will support all programs related to the implementation of NHI, working with other mass democratic forces. And we noted that this comes handy because the Cuban program, the Mandela Fidel Castro program, the meeting received progress report with regard to the South Africa-Cuba Medical Exchange Program, commonly known as the Comrades Castro Mandela Program. And the meeting was indeed encouraged by the completion of more than 700 medical students studying in Cuba, and noted that they will be arriving in groups in these coming weeks. By the end of this July, the 700 Cuban students from South Africa who trained in Cuba will be all over South Africa for their last 18 months. This historic and strategic program stands to cement our long-standing friendly relations between South Africa and the Republic of Cuba, whose contribution to our liberation struggle is unequaled. And the program also stands to benefit the overwhelming majority of our people, particularly the urban and rural poor. Moving forward, it was agreed that the program has to be taken to the higher levels through coordination by national government. And the meeting agreed to conduct an audit of all South African students on scholarship bursaries programs throughout the world with a view to reassess their skills requisite and their contribution towards the improvement of the living conditions of our people. And this task will be coordinated by the Alliance. The meeting received a report in terms of energy security on IPPs, and it also discussed the future of power stations whose lifespan has come to an end. And the meeting agreed on the need for further detailed, comprehensive discussion on energy security. And the meeting also discussed the reported possible future of power stations, affordability of energy, and its impact on the economy and jobs in particular. And we agreed, therefore, in moving forward, the Alliance needs an alliance program of action. And the Secretariat will, from this political council, identify issues, of course, which we have already identified, which will include, amongst others, a program to tackle corruption and dismantle the parasitic networks which have captured some sections of the state, address the issues that militate against the unity of the Alliance and the movement as a whole, implement the National Health Insurance System, as we are doing with the land issue, and deal with the issues, femicide, violence against women and children. Those are some of the programs of actions of the Alliance, and you'll see us out there throughout South Africa in the streets and corners of South Africa. The role of SOEs were also discussed, and I think the meeting received a report on the state of SOEs, and this included the state of the country's finances, which include details on tax and revenue policy. And the meeting noted with concern about allegations of corruption in our SOEs and agreed on the need to enhance their administrative capacity to confront such challenges. And we also identified and felt that the developmental role and mandate of SOEs must never be eroded. And we also focus on the issue of land, which we have extensively discussed. The meeting encouraged our people to participate in the current parliamentary public hearings on the expropriation of land without compensation. And it further acknowledged the Cabinet Committee to engage with traditional leaders in this regard. And meetings has already taken place between the ANC and the leadership of Contralesa, as well as the leadership of the party has interacted with the leadership of Contralesa. Maybe we are not out there in the public. The Alliance Political Council also received a report about the cordial and friendly meeting between Comrade President Ramaphosa and King Zwelithini, Goodwill Zwelithini. And the meeting further support the statement by the President of our country that government has no intentions to expropriate land held in trust by traditional leaders on behalf of communities. And we agreed, therefore, that we are going to have our continuation of our political council, and that political council will continue again on the 15th and 16th of July. And this meeting will, amongst others, discuss the state-owned enterprises and the finances of the state, as well as those current issues, the petrol hikes, and we'll come back again and inform the nation. So you can see the alliance in action, you can see the consolidation of unity, you can see renewal as mandated by the 54th National Conference, but also as mandated by our constituencies to further work together and strengthen our alliance moving forward into the future. So we are going to allow you to interact with the leadership here to give flash to whatever questions you are going to pose or give meat